The black share in Harris County is 132,956 votes. That means of the total votes so far cast in Harris County, about 17.66% of them are black. 15.69% are Hispanic. Let me put those numbers in context for you. We projected to have more people who will vote in this midterm election than we have ever had to vote as a percentage of the total electorate since they ended the poll tax. Let me tell you why that's important. Some of you don't know what a poll tax is. Well, you have to pay about $1.50, $1 in order to vote. And that was to keep people of color from voting. So that means there's a lot of excitement here. And if these projections continue, you got a few more hours. It's up until 7 o'clock tonight that you can vote. That's why it's so important. If somebody does not vote, that's public. We don't know which primary you voted in, who you can figure out when they vote in the primary, who they voted for. We don't know which party you're voting for, but we know whether or not you vote. If I was a student leader, I would go pull the names of whoever doesn't vote and put their names on the internet. They ought to just be embarrassed. I mean, too many people fought and died and struggled. You know, no matter how bad things may be now, you just think about what your predecessors had to go to. Not talking about my generation. You think about when Heman Sweat filed a lawsuit to get into the University of Texas Law School. That's what created Texas Southern. They created TSU to keep from having to integrate the University of Texas. So no matter how tough things may be, they can't be nearly as rough as they were for your ancestors. So you, as Roland said, you really ought to shame all of your friends in the voting. It's difficult figuring out how to get to your generation. I mean, we try Facebook, you know, everything else, tweet it out, you know, call you if we can get your number. You change the cell phone number every month, so we can't be too sure. But you know how to get to your friends. So I want to tell you, it's not enough just for you to vote. It's only enough if you get everybody you know of to go and vote. I called my daughter today, who's a millennial, 30 years old. She's in D.C. I said, did you ask for your mail-in ballot? She said, no. So I said, I'll pay for half the ticket. She's just going to fly in, vote, and fly out. And she's going to take her young brother, his first time voting, and make sure he goes to vote and share that experience with him. I want to close on this on the criminal justice piece. Young man with the hood on, still freezing from Prairie View. You ought to vote for Sandra Bland. You ought to vote because she can't vote. Criminal justice in this county and Waller County is on the ballot every 2 years because we're going to pick judges. We're going to pick people who pick judges. So you ought to vote. Now here's, when I think about the bail deal, I want to put it in context for you. There was a famous case here called, a guy named Robert Durst was accused of chopping somebody's head off and throwing it in the Gulf of Mexico. Remember that case? Got a lot of press. His lawyer was my neighbor. In fact, my wife said, if you keep messing with me, I'm going to chop your head off, throw it in the swimming pool. Then I'm going to go across the street and get our neighbor to represent me and get away with it. Durst's bail was $300,000. You put up 10%. $30,000. He got in a private plane, skied up. They found him a couple of years later in California, allegedly contemplating chopping somebody else's head off, putting it in the Pacific Ocean. Sandra Bland was arrested. The cop said she did not turn the blinker light on, changing from the left lane to the right lane. Siren going on behind her. I was a state legislator 26 years. I had no idea it was illegal if you don't turn your blinker on. He stopped her. She didn't get an attitude like some of us would have. Then the officer said, well, you smoking cigarette, smoke's getting in my face. You need to put your cigarette out. Then she said, I'm in my car. I got to put my cigarette out. And then it escalated, and you know what it came to. Her bail was $5,000. She didn't have $500. How many of you have $500 in cash? They don't take credit cards. They don't take IOUs. You got to have cash. Hold your hand up if you got $500 in cash on you right now. If you don't have $500 on you right now, you could have been Sandra Bland. So you vote because criminal justice is on the ballot. You vote because black voters matter. All voters matter. So let's get our numbers up. Thank you very much. Let's get after it. We got a leader up here. Come on, our leader who got all of this started is going to speak next.
I don't know about all that. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? My name is Cliff Albright. I am co-founder along with Sister Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. And I need somebody out here to let me know that we matter. I need somebody to say it real loud. Can y'all say we matter?
We matter!
Can y'all say it real loud? Can y'all say we matter?
We matter!
Can y'all say it so that they hear you all the way across in DC? Can you say we matter?
We matter!
So let me tell you right now, I'm excited about this because we got right now, as we speak, we are doing events like this in 5 states, 5 HBCU campuses, right? Right now in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Georgia, in Tennessee, right now as we speak, there are students just like you on these other campuses that are having a rally and getting on buses and getting on vans to go vote, right? So this is going on in 5 places, but I have a feeling, I heard someplace, y'all tell me if this is right, they tell me everything in Texas is bigger. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true? So we're gonna do it big out here at Texas Southern today, right? We're excited to be able to take folks to go vote. It's the last day of early voting. It's the last day of early voting, so we gotta take advantage of this. And like the previous speakers have all said, we need you to talk to 5 of your friends, 5 of your family, 5 of your neighbors, 5 of your cousins, 5 somebodies to tell them how important this election is, right? Because y'all make the difference. Your age group makes change. That's what history shows us. All throughout history in this country, all across the world, it's your age group that changes history. It was your age group that was leading stuff during the Civil Rights Movement. Don't get it twisted, Dr. King was 25 years old. 25 years old when he led the Montgomery bus boycott. That's only a couple of years older than some of y'all, maybe even a little bit younger than some of y'all, right? It is your age group that makes history in this country. So we need you. And we need you to tell your friends, because this election is important. Y'all, we got a man in the White House who has declared himself to be a white nationalist. They are not playing with us right now. We got states all around this country where they are trying to take your vote away, where they are purging voters, where they are passing photo ID laws, where they are where they are holding on to registration forms and not telling people that they're holding on to the registration forms, right? And so if we don't think that this process, this voting process is important, then we gotta ask ourselves, why are they trying so hard to keep it from us? It's because they know we matter. It's because they know we make the difference. Even in a state like Texas. Now I know this is a red state, right? So I know a lot of y'all be thinking, a lot of people telling y'all that this state, there's certain things you can't do in this state. How many of y'all heard that? That it just doesn't matter, right? You can't win certain things in this state. They said the same thing about Alabama about 9 months ago, about 10 months ago. And we, along with some other organizations, mobilized black folks, and we said, look, it's not about this one, it's not about that one, it's about us. It's about our humanity. It's about us sending a message. It's about us believing in each other and working together, because the other thing that history shows us is that when we work together, we win. I'm not making it up. That's what our history shows us. When we work together, we win. Y'all say, when we work together, we what?
Win.
We win, right? We just gotta believe that we have the power. And that's the last thing that I'm gonna end with, because this tour, and we're going around the southern states, it's the blackest bus in America. Y'all about to see it in a minute, y'all about to get on it. We call it the blackest bus in America. And I wanna shout out Roland Martin, because before CNN and before MSNBC and before some of the other media outlets found out about what we were doing, Roland Martin was there, giving us a voice. You know, brother like Mark Thompson was there, giving us a voice. And so we wanna lift up Brother Roland, but they said the same thing about Alabama. We turned out folks that we wanted Alabama. If we wanted Alabama, we can win here in the state of Texas. And we can win here in Houston. Y'all heard it. Y'all, there ain't too many. In fact, I don't think there's any place else in the country right now. Y'all got 19 sisters running to be judged. Y'all got 19 sisters trying to be judged here. If that can't excite you, I don't know what else will. But it's not just because of how they look. It's not just because they're black women. That's important. But it's because of what they represent. It's because of the policies that they represent. It's because it represents an opportunity for all y'all, all of us, to get some real justice in the so-called criminal justice system. So we go around the South talking about two things. We talk about love and we talk about power, right? Because we believe, as Dr. King once said, those two things got to go together. Because power without love is reckless and abusive. We've seen reckless and abusive, right?
That's right.
But love without power is sentimental and anemic. This is what King said. This is not just me, this is what King said. Love without power is sentimental and anemic. Our communities don't need sentimental and anemic right now. We need some love, but we need some power. And you all have the opportunity to help make that happen. Can we make that happen today?
Yes.
Can we help spread a little love and build a little power today?
Yes.
When I say black voters, you say matter. Black voters.
Matter.
Black voters.
Matter.
Black voters.
Matter.
All right, TSU, we love y'all. Thank you for coming. We're excited about today. We love y'all.
All right. I matter.
I matter.
You matter.
You matter.
We matter.
We matter.
Thank you all for coming up today. I want to give a big shout out to Christina Sanders, professor and Texas Southern alum, for organizing, getting the bus and everything. I just want to say I'm so excited about today and what today represents. I don't think I said my name earlier. My name is Chauncey Lundy. I actually live in Washington, D.C., but I've been organizing stuff with Christina for a very, very, very long time. The buses are going to be here. After you vote, we actually have food trucks that are going to feed you at the center. So we want to make sure that not only that you vote, but you get fed. I'm really excited to be here. Everybody has talked to you about the importance of voting, but it has to be something within you, some issue that you connect with. I know that sometimes people start beating you over the head about voting, and I know there are a lot of times we're just not excited about voting. But as Roland Martin said, somebody's going to win, and you really want to have a choice in who that person is. So when we vote, we win. When I say when we vote, I want you to say we win. When we vote,
We win.
when we vote,
We win.
when we vote,
We win.
let's go win. Christina's going to come up and bring you instructions on how you do the bus and everything else. Thank you.
All right.
So first of all, thank you guys. I'll just say too, there's about maybe a couple dozen maybe out here, but it was the same way when the civil rights movement got started. In every major movement, there's always that 10% that Du Bois talks about that is leading the way. So I want you guys to share this. Shout out to Steve Jobs by Snapchatting, telling your story. When we get there, talk about voting, send it to your friends on Facebook, invite them out to Griggs to be with us. We'll have plenty of food for them too. And thank you to everybody who's here, for the students, but also to the administration and to Cliff for making this happen around the country. Okay, so everybody should have one of these wristbands. If you don't have a Black Voters Matter wristband, please get one right over here to my left. And we're gonna head behind the Student Center and we're gonna get on the bus and we're gonna go to Griggs Road. And when we get there, we will be partnered with the Houston Area Urban League. And so we'll get in line. For those that need to vote, we'll vote, and then there'll be food trucks set up. As long as you have your wristband, you can order whatever you want from the food trucks. You'll be good. Okay, thank you. We'll go right behind the Student Center.
Thank you. People resonate to that. Yeah. Yeah, it's live. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
Are you walking that way?
Yeah, behind the scenes. Hey, somebody grab the camera. My camera. Right there on the ground.
You should have let off.
Okay, got it.
We gotta put that charge in the bag too, in his bag.